What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Greg M here with your track and field report. And I guess prediction time, right? As you can see, I'm talking about my home girls here and some of the other people that everyone is looking out for outside of Jamaica. Shericka Jackson and Bryan Levell. I'm just going to say it right now. I'm looking for Shericka Jackson to go for the goal and defend because she's showing some signs of life. She's looking good in her rounds, control, well managed. She doesn't look stressed. She doesn't look like she's training. She's running smart. And I think she's going to put it out there tomorrow. Melissa Jefferson is going to have to use that speed on the curve for the first 150 and hope that she can take the lead off the curve and hold off Shericka Jackson. But if Shericka Jackson and Melissa Jefferson wouldn't get off fairly even or close to each other on the straightaway coming off the curve, I think it's going to be Shericka Jackson. She's going to find that heart and determination to rise, and I think that 400-meter strength is going to be able to defeat Melissa Jefferson Wooden down the line. If Melissa Jefferson takes it out there and Shericka can't close, it's Melissa Jefferson Wooden game the whole way. You know, it might be a thing like with Signa McLaughlin and Paulino, you know, where at this point I think Paulino was the stronger runner and Signa McLaughlin of running was just as strong, but I think she had a little bit more speed and was able to get that lead and hold her off and keep her momentum a little longer. Even though she was fading, it's going to be similar in the 200. Melissa Jefferson is going to have to come off, have a 5-meter lead. If she get a 2 or 3 meter lead in front of Shericka coming off the curve, I think Shericka will have a hard time. She might close a little bit, but I think Melissa Jefferson, with the motoring turnover that she got, is not going to fade. But I don't think she's going to run. Or let me put it this way. I think Melissa Jefferson, if she wins, is going to have to run at 21.7.2 to win. I don't see a 21.5 or 4. If she does do exceptionally well, then it's like a 21.69. But if Shericka wins, I think it will be more like a 21.7.2 also if she wins with that 10.88 speed. But it's the strength and who can hold their own that last 50 is going to play out. I think I'm giving the edge to Shericka, but I'm giving that motivation and determination of Melissa Wooden, that fighter in her, if it's close. So I'm kind of leaning towards Shericka for that one, even though Melissa Jefferson Wooden is the favorite. Now for the men's 200, I'm gonna go bold and say I think Levell is gonna shock everybody and run not just a personal best, but he's gonna win the goal. He's gonna defeat Noah Lyles and Bednarik and Let's See Tobago. And the way he's looking so easy, running 19.84, 19.7s in his rounds. And to me, he still have the advantage of a little bit fresher legs. The professionals are going to be relying on the experience and the maturity and being well conditioned to manage the rounds, but there's something about fresher legs too. I mean, now that he has run 2 rounds, Levell is not as fresh either. It's just going to boil down to who's running their race, right? Not focus on anybody, but just focus in the lane, down the line to the finish line and run their own race. If Bryan Levell gets off ahead of Noah Lyles and Bednarik and Let's See Tobago, and he's able to have a 2-meter lead on them coming off the curve, even 1 meter, I think he'll open up once he sees that he has that lead. And if he keeps that relaxation and that drive and that tapping speed, right, and don't care about who's coming beside him, Just focus down the line till you see the tape come to you, he'll win. If he tightens up, if he comes off the curve with Noah Lyles there, Bednarik there, let's see the Tobago, it comes up and rise, and they're all coming off that curve pretty much in line. It's going to be a race to who can maintain the relaxation. And I think Bednarik has the best form of relaxation I see right now, even over Bryan Levell. But Bryan Levell look really strong, and that's why I'm going to say bold right now. My bold prediction: Bryan Levell for a shocker with a 19.49 over Noah Lyles. Actually, I'm going to give Noah Lyles third. Noah Lyles is going to run 19.55. He's not even going to run a 19.51, and Bednarik is going to get second. Right, with a 19.51. I don't think they're gonna touch 19.3s. But if they run that, hey, even better for the sport. But I don't see anybody running 19.35 or anything like that. Maybe them could touch in the 19.45s, 19.42s if the conditions are perfect. And a little help with the wind. If there's any little wind at the back, like a 1.5, yeah, maybe it's in 19.39 or something like that. But running so late in the evening, there's not going to be a whole lot of wind blowing at the back. So it's going to be just who wants it the most again, who can keep their composure, keep their race plan, don't deviate, don't start looking for who's beside you. Run through the line. If it's close, get ready to dip if 2 or 3 y'all are coming down close to the line. And I've not seen Levell have to dip like that yet, but hopefully not. But I think this man is just in the zone right now. Noah Lyles is nervous. He tried to put down a psychological operation in the semifinals by running pretty much like a final to send a message and hope that he can repeat that or improve upon that. And I think it's going to be kind of tough for Noah Lyles. 27-year-old, he's still young, but we got Bryan Levell who's up and coming and look like he's ready to test the veterans and put himself on the podium against all odds. So Bryan Levell, Kenny Bednarik second, Noah Lyles again for the bronze, and let's see the Tobago for fourth. Hughes fifth. That's what I'm looking at. They're all going to be between 19.4 for the win and then 19.5 for second place. 19.5, 1.52, 19.55 for third place. Noah Lyles, I think, can repeat. And that's if Bryan Levell doesn't have a cramp or anything like that or any injury. Hopefully everybody is healthy because I want to see a fair and square race and everybody get to earn the right to put their best out. You know what I'm saying? So, and the reason why I'm thinking Bryan Levell, let me see. Look at the lineup here. Bryan Levell is in lane 7. Look who he got in front of him. Of all persons, Kenny Bednarik. That's why I'm giving Kenny Bednarik second, because I think Bryan Levell is going to, where he's looking, he's going to line up and size up Bednarik. If he gets past Bednarik coming off the curve, I think Bednarik have a tendency to kind of tighten up when the pressure is on him. So he's going to have to take it out and hold his own. Late charging Noah Lyles, if he's not off the curve with them, he's going to be trying to make a late charge back. Being that he ran that 19.51, he's going to rely on that strength again. But Bryan Levell, I think nobody's thinking that he has the experience and the strength yet and the maturity to hold his own, but he's looking good. Let's see, the Tobago is going to have to run superb out of lane 5. Zarnell Hughes is going to have to run superb coming off that curve, but I think he's going to be run down. But we'll see what happens. But that's what I'm going with boldly. Whoever wins, they're the best man for the day. And for the rest of the year. So that's my prediction on that. For the women, Shericka is also in lane 7. And I think that's a good lane for her, being that she was injured last year and she's not going to be on the inside lane and have to worry about any tight curve running. And she's still on the comeback. And like I said, she ran that 10.88 speed. So I think she has a lot of confidence that she has the best 400 strength out of all these young ladies. And I'm sure Frano been working on her speed endurance and her 400 meter strength. That's why she's looking so good in the rounds. And I think Dina Asher-Smith is probably going to run up in there for a bronze, I think. But it's going to be a battle for bronze between Anavia Battle and Dina Asher-Smith for bronze. And it's going to be a good run. If Shericka Jackson and Melissa Jefferson Wooden comes off the curve and it's tight, it's the 400 strength that's going to defeat Melissa Jefferson Wooden that last 50 meters. But we don't know how strong she is. So far, she's looked good in all the rounds. We'll see if she's able to repeat. And if she repeats and able to hold off a Shericka Jackson, she's in tip-top best form of her life. But I'm going with Shericka Jackson. Most people might say the 10.61 trump 10.88, but this is 200 meters. You got to repeat both 100 as consistently as you can. The first one going to have to be good, and you have to can run close to the first 100 in the last 100. So, and that last 50 is going to show who has the best conditioning and strength. But Melissa Jefferson, we know, is going to be a fighter. But don't rule out Dina Asher-Smith. She's going to make everybody run. I think she's the best curve runner right now at this point. Talu is going to be pushing too. That's why I think this race is going to take a 21.7. Or possibly, if, all conditions right. It's going to be a 21.69, 21.72 for the win with right conditions. But I'm giving that 21.7 to Shericka. And if there's any win, she might be able to eke out a 21.69 because she has some fast people behind her. Melissa Jefferson Wooden, she's going to have to come out. If Melissa Jefferson run past her in that curve and coming off that curve, Shericka can't respond, then it's over. It's Melissa Jefferson. So that's my prediction, and I'm going to stick to that. If I'm end up not being right, then I'm willing to own up to it that, okay, I was wrong. I read everything, incorrectly. But I like what I'm seeing from Shericka Jackson and Bryan Levell. Shericka Jackson is the defending champion. Bryan Levell is coming out there for the first time to claim a major championship, and I think he's hungry and willing to prove everybody wrong. And I think they're underestimating him. So that's it for now. We'll watch for tomorrow and see how this thing go down. All right, what's your prediction? Let me know in the comment section. Right, who's your favorite? Y'all going with No Alliance or for the men, or y'all think Bryan Levell is gonna have a good shot at the goal, or Bednarik to come and shock everybody, or let's see is gonna come up and just take everybody out because he didn't look as good and nobody think that he has a medal chance this year. And the women, who y'all going for? Jefferson or Shericka? Or Dina Asher-Smith gonna go shock some people? Or a Navia Battle just come out of nowhere and find some gear? We will see, but I don't think so though. I think it's gonna be Melissa Jefferson and Shericka Jackson battling it out. But we'll see. Again, none of us have a crystal ball. We're just going off of what we see, the data that we see on the track, the looks of everyone, the performance, and kind of gauging it based on how we think who has the potential to take gold. So let's see who's going to be right, and let's get ready for some competition tomorrow. All right, see y'all tomorrow.